It's mid-November, the air's getting crisp, your garden's slowing down and you might think the planting season is over, but here's the truth, it's not. Right now, you've got a small but powerful window, anywhere from 1 week to 6 weeks before hard frost hits, and that's just enough time to plant 10 amazing crops that can still grow before Christmas or quietly overwinter for an early spring harvest. So, before you hang up your gardening gloves for the year, let's make the most of these final warm days and turn November into your secret growing season. Welcome back to Green Life Zen, your home for sustainable, earth-friendly gardening. Today we're going through exactly which 10 crops you can plant this week, how long they take to grow, which zones they work best in, and even what to do if your ground's already frozen solid. Stick around, because crop number 7 is one that most gardeners completely forget about, and it might just give you one of the easiest spring harvests ever. Before we jump into the crops, let's get one thing straight, your planting window depends entirely on where you live. November isn't the same for everyone, some folks are still wearing t-shirts, and others are already scraping frost off their windshields. So here's a quick breakdown. Zones 8 to 10, think the southern states and coastal California, you've still got 4 to 6 weeks of mild weather. You can plant everything on this list and still see growth. Zones 6 to 7, Mid-Atlantic, Pacific Northwest, parts of the Midwest. You got 1 to 3 weeks left if your soil hasn't frozen yet. Zones 4 to 5, up north and in mountain regions, this is overwinter only territory. But don't worry, I'll share some easy indoor container options for you too. Not sure which zone you're in? Just Google USDA hardiness zone and your zip code, it takes 10 seconds and saves a lot of guesswork. Here's a quick soil test. Grab a trowel and try to dig in. If the soil gives easily, you're good to plant. If it's rock hard and frozen, that's okay, I'll show you indoor alternatives for each crop so you can keep growing right through winter. Because whether you're in Florida, Oregon, or Minnesota, there's still something you can plant this week. Let's start with one of the easiest and fastest greens you can grow right now, arugula. Arugula is your go-to November salad hero. It grows fast, doesn't mind the chill, and actually tastes sweeter after a light frost. So if your nights are already dipping into the 30s, that's perfect, nature's giving your greens a flavor boost. Zones 6 to 10 can still plant it directly in the garden this week. For zones 4 and 5, don't worry, arugula loves containers. Just place a shallow pot on a sunny windowsill and you'll still have fresh greens by mid-December. Here's how simple it is. Scatter the seeds right over your soil, cover lightly with about a 1/4 inch of soil, and water gently. Space rows around 6 inches apart. You'll see sprouts within a week, and harvest baby leaves in 25 to 30 days, just in time for holiday salads. Pro tip, arugula doesn't need fancy soil. In fact, it thrives in rough garden beds where other greens might struggle. And if you're growing indoors, any potting mix works fine. Keep it moist, give it sunlight, and harvest small handfuls whenever you like. It's fast, forgiving, and flavorful. The perfect start to your November garden. Now, if you want something even tougher than arugula, crop number 2 is your cold weather champion. Next up is spinach, the true cold weather champion of the garden. If arugula is fast and forgiving, spinach is the steady survivor. It can handle temperatures down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit and keep growing like nothing happened. This makes it one of the best crops to plant in mid-November. Here's the breakdown. Gardeners in zones 5 through 10 can still plant spinach outdoors right now. In warmer zones, especially 8 to 10, spinach will actually overwinter and keep producing tender leaves all winter long. You'll get baby spinach in about 30 to 40 days, and full-size leaves in 45 to 50. That means you could be picking fresh greens before the holidays even arrive. To plant, tuck the seeds about 1–2 inch deep, spaced 2 inches apart in rows around a foot apart. Spinach loves rich soil, so mix in some compost if you can, then water well after planting. Pro tip, choose cold-tolerant varieties like Bloomsdale or Winter Giant. They won't bolt when temperatures drop, and their leaves stay thick and flavorful. If your garden's frozen, don't worry, spinach grows beautifully indoors too. Just use a container 6 to 8 inches deep, place it by your brightest window, and keep the soil evenly moist. It's simple, it's hardy, and it keeps your salads going through winter. And if you're after something that grows even faster, the next crop is a total speed demon. If you're craving quick results, radishes are your November jackpot. These little root veggies are the speed demons of the garden, ready to harvest in as little as 25 days. Plant them now, and you could be pulling fresh, crunchy radishes before Christmas dinner. They thrive in zones 5 through 10, and even gardeners in chilly zone 5 can sneak in one last round before the deep freeze sets in. Here's how easy it is. Plant seeds about 1 to 2 inch deep and 1 inch apart. Radishes don't need fancy soil. Just make sure it's loose and crumbly so the roots can form easily. If your garden bed is compacted, give it a quick rake to loosen things up. They don't need fertilizer, they don't attract many pests, and they pop up fast. You'll usually see sprouts within a week. Pro tip: stick with fast-maturing varieties like Cherry Belle or French Breakfast. They handle the cold beautifully and taste their best when harvested young. And if outdoor soil is too cold, you can grow radishes indoors too. Use a deep container, at least 6 inches, place it in full sun or under a grow light, and you'll have crisp radishes in just over 30 days. Radishes are proof that gardening doesn't have to wait for spring, and they're a perfect confidence booster for winter growers. Now, if you want to try a green that laughs at snow, crop number 4 is practically made for November. If you've never grown Mâche, also called corn salad, you're in for a treat. This little leafy green is the cold-hardiest salad plant on the planet. It's so tough that in some regions it actually survives under snow and bounces back when temperatures rise. That means gardeners in zones 4 through 10 can plant it right now. Yes, even if you've already seen frost. Here's how to do it. Prepare your soil, then scatter the seeds on top. Don't bury them. Mâche seeds need light to germinate. Just press them gently into the soil and water with a fine mist so you don't wash them away. Space rows about 6 inches apart. It takes about 40 to 50 days to reach harvest size, but in warmer zones, 7 to 10, it'll keep growing slowly all winter long, giving you tender, nutty-tasting leaves when most gardens are bare. Pro tip: Mâche is surprisingly expensive at the grocery store, often around $6 for a tiny box. Growing your own saves money and gives you fresher greens than anything you can buy. No outdoor space? No problem. Mâche grows beautifully indoors in shallow containers and doesn't need intense sunlight. It's happy even in a north-facing window. It's cold-proof, compact, and delicious, the unsung hero of winter salads. Now if you want even more variety in your greens, crop number 5 keeps the harvests coming again and again. If you love variety in your salads, this one's for you. Lettuce mix, also known as mesclun or cut-and-come-again greens. These blends are perfect for November because they grow fast, don't mind cooler temperatures, and keep giving you fresh harvests week after week. Think of it as the gift that keeps on growing. Gardeners in zones 6 through 10 can still sow lettuce mix right in the garden. In zones 7 to 10, you might even get multiple cuttings through winter. Here's how to plant. Broadcast the seeds evenly over prepared soil, then gently rake to barely cover them. Keep the surface moist until you see sprouts, usually in 7 to 10 days. Once they've grown a bit, thin them to about 4 inches apart so each plant has room to breathe. Your first harvest comes in 30 to 45 days, and then you can simply snip the leaves at about 4 to 6 inches tall. Leave the roots in place, they'll regrow for another round. Pro tip: choose cold-tolerant varieties like Winter Density or Arctic King. They handle frost far better than regular lettuce and stay crisp even when temperatures drop. And if it's too cold outside, lettuce mixes are one of the easiest crops to grow indoors. A wide, shallow container and a bright windowsill are all you need for fresh salads year-round. With a little care, you can be harvesting homegrown greens while everyone else is unwrapping gifts. Now, those were your quick, ready-before-Christmas crops. Let's move into the overwinter champions that you plant now for powerful spring harvests. Now, let's talk about the one crop you absolutely don't want to skip this month: garlic. If you only plant one thing in November, make it this. Garlic needs the cold of winter to form full, flavorful bulbs. If you miss this window, you'll have to wait an entire year to try again. Here's what to do. Gardeners in zones 4 through 9 should plant their garlic before the ground freezes. This is your last call. Break apart a bulb into individual cloves, don't peel them, and plant each one pointy end up, about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart, with rows spaced around a foot apart. Once planted, cover the area with 2 to 4 inches of mulch, straw, dry leaves, or grass clippings. All work perfectly. That blanket of mulch keeps the soil temperature steady and protects your garlic through the freeze-thaw cycles. Pro tip: always buy seed garlic from a garden center or online nursery. Grocery store garlic is usually treated to prevent sprouting. If you're in a cold climate, go for hardneck varieties, they're tougher and more flavorful. Warmer zones? Choose softneck types, they store longer and handle mild winters beautifully. Can't plant outside? You can still grow garlic greens indoors. Just pop a few cloves in a pot, pointy side up, and snip the green shoots as they grow. They taste just like mild garlic chives. Plant once now, and come June, you'll pull up golden bulbs that smell like pure garden magic. And if you love pairing garlic with onions in the kitchen, our next crop is its perfect companion. Next up, onion sets. The crop most gardeners forget to plant in November, but they're one of the smartest things you can tuck into the soil right now. Onion sets are basically baby onions, tiny bulbs that you plant in fall so they can grow roots over winter and explode with growth in spring. They're the perfect follow-up to garlic, and together, they'll make your garden smell amazing when things start warming up again. Here's the scoop. Gardeners in zones 5 through 9 can plant onion sets this week. Look specifically for overwinter or winter-hardy varieties, that's key. Regular onion sets won't survive the cold and may rot in frozen soil. To plant, just push each bulb into the soil so that the pointed tip barely shows above the surface. Space them about 4 inches apart, in rows 12 inches apart. They love well-drained soil, so if you've got heavy clay, use a raised bed or add some compost to lighten it up. Pro tip: varieties like Stuttgarter and Red Baron are famous for overwintering success. They're tough, flavorful, and reliable year after year. If you'd like a quick indoor version, you can even grow green onions from kitchen scraps. Just place the roots in a glass of water near a sunny window, and you'll have fresh onion greens in about a week. Planting onion sets now means you'll be harvesting full-sized onions by late spring, just in time for your first garden meals of the new season. And speaking of garden meals, our next crop doesn't just feed you, it also feeds your soil. If you've never grown fava beans, also known as broad beans, November is the perfect time to try. These plants are like nature's gift to both you and your soil. While they grow, they actually pull nitrogen from the air and store it in the soil, enriching it for next season's crops. It's like planting your own organic fertilizer factory. Gardeners in zones 7 through 10 can plant them right now for a spring harvest. If you're in zone 6 or below, hold off and plant them in early spring instead. Here's how simple it is. Plant the seeds about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart. Fava beans love cool temperatures, they actually won't sprout if the soil is too warm. So this chilly November air? Perfect. After planting, water once, then let the winter rains take care of the rest. They'll grow slowly through winter, then take off in spring with lush green leaves and heavy pods. Expect to harvest around April or May. Pro tip: plant your fava beans where you plan to grow tomatoes or peppers next summer. They'll leave behind nitrogen-rich soil, giving those heavy feeders a powerful head start. If you don't have outdoor space, don't worry. You can sprout fava bean microgreens indoors in just 7 to 10 days. They're crunchy, flavorful, and packed with protein. Fava beans work while you rest, feeding the soil, strengthening your spring garden, and proving that winter can still grow life. Now, if you want a crop that actually gets sweeter the colder it gets, crop number 9 is your frost-loving friend. If there's one crop that actually celebrates the cold, it's kale. This leafy green doesn't just survive frost, it thrives in it. In fact, those chilly nights trigger the plant to produce natural sugars, making the leaves sweeter and milder than ever. Gardeners in zones 5 through 10 can still plant kale right now. If you're in colder areas, grab transplants from your garden center. They'll mature faster and handle frost like champs. If you're in zones 8 to 10, you can even start from seed and enjoy a steady harvest all winter long. Here's how to plant. Dig holes about 18 inches apart. Kale needs space to stretch. Mix a scoop of compost into each hole, plant your starts, and water deeply. Then mulch around the base with straw or leaves to protect the roots when temperatures drop. You'll be picking tender leaves in 30 to 40 days, and one plant can feed you for months. Pro tip: harvest the outer leaves first and leave the center growing point intact. The plant will keep producing fresh greens again and again. Cold-hardy varieties like Winterbor and Lacinato, also called dinosaur kale, handle freezing nights with ease. Now technically you can grow kale indoors, but it needs a large pot and plenty of light, so smaller greens are usually easier. Still, nothing beats seeing those dark green leaves stand tall against a frosty morning. It's like your garden saying, "I've got this." And finally, let's talk about the last crop on our list, one that gives you the earliest spring harvest of all. And rounding out our list is one of the most underrated cool weather crops, winter peas, sometimes called Austrian winter peas. These are not your regular garden peas. Winter peas are specially bred to germinate in cold soil and quietly grow through winter, then burst into life the moment spring sunlight returns. If you're in zones 7 through 10, you can plant them right now and look forward to an early harvest in March or April. If you're in colder zones, no worries. Just save your seeds for early spring planting. Here's how to plant. Sow seeds about 1 inch deep and 2 inches apart, ideally along a small trellis, fence, or some garden supports. Peas love to climb, even in winter. They don't need fancy soil or fertilizer. In fact, too much nitrogen makes them grow more leaves than pods. Pro tip: be sure to buy varieties labeled winter or overwinter. Regular spring peas will die as soon as hard frost hits, but these hardy types will shrug off the cold like it's nothing. If you can't plant outdoors, don't let that stop you. Plant pea seeds densely in a shallow tray indoors. In about 10 to 14 days, you'll have delicious pea shoots, tender, crunchy, and perfect for salads or stir-fries. Winter peas are your garden's gentle promise. They sleep under the frost, and when the world warms up, they're the first to wake. But before you grab your seeds, let's talk about how to protect all these crops through the coldest nights ahead. Now that you've got your crops lined up, let's make sure they survive the cold and keep thriving even when frost shows up early. The secret isn't just what you plant, it's how you protect what you've planted. Floating row covers. Think of these as soft, breathable blankets for your garden. Drape them right over your crops and secure the edges with rocks, soil, or clips. They can add 4 to 8 degrees of frost protection, enough to push your growing season 2 or 3 weeks longer. Cold frames. If you want to take it a step further, build a simple cold frame. It's basically a mini greenhouse made from scrap wood and an old window or piece of clear plastic. It traps the sun's warmth during the day and holds it through the night, extending your harvest by 4 to 6 weeks. Mulch for insulation. Once your ground starts freezing, lay down 2 to 4 inches of mulch, straw, leaves, or even grass clippings. This helps protect roots from the constant freeze-thaw cycle and keeps overwinter crops like garlic and onions cozy underground. Smart watering. Here's a little-known trick. Water deeply right after planting, then step back. Winter rains usually handle the rest. The only time you need to water is if you go 2 or more weeks without rain. Cold, wet soil can easily lead to rot, so less is more. Quick soil prep. And if your soil's compacted or you're late in the season, don't stress. Just spread a couple inches of compost on top and plant directly into it. Your crops will take root easily, and you'll be improving that soil for next spring at the same time. These small steps make a huge difference, keeping your crops alive, your soil healthy, and your garden productive right through the coldest months. Now, let's pull it all together with a quick recap and your action plan for this week. Alright, let's wrap it up with your November planting game plan so you can head out and make it happen before frost sets in. Here's your quick recap. Fast harvest crops, zones 6 to 10. Arugula, spinach, radishes, mâche and lettuce mix. These are your speed growers. Plant them now, and you could be harvesting fresh salads by mid-December. Overwinter champions, all zones. Garlic and onion sets. These need to be in the ground before it freezes. Plant them once now, and they'll reward you with big, healthy bulbs in spring and early summer. Spring harvest builders, zones 7 to 10. Fava beans, kale, and winter peas. These tough plants grow quietly through winter, then come roaring to life as soon as days lengthen. Here's what to do. Today, check your hardiness zone. Just search USDA zone plus your zip code. Test your soil. If you can dig with a trowel, you can plant. Pick 3 to 5 crops from this list based on your zone. Grab your seeds or transplants this week. Plant before the weekend and lock in your last harvest of the year. I'd love to know, which of these 10 crops are you planting this week? Are you aiming for quick greens or building your spring garden early? Drop a comment with your zone below. I'll do my best to reply with personalized advice for your area. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up so more gardeners can catch it before it's too late to plant. And if you're ready to keep growing all winter long, check out this next video. I'll show you how to regrow kitchen scraps into free, endless food right on your windowsill. Until next time, stay cozy, stay green, and keep growing your slice of earth magic.